Hello, welcome. Hello. We'll see how long I go here. I have not been a night owl lately. I have been an early bird, getting up 5:30 in the morning. Sometimes I stay in bed and listen to an audiobook. Uh, Sometimes the cat won't quit bugging me, so I have to get up. But today was one of those days I did. I just got up pretty early. I like doing this late night. It relaxes me, and I do go straight to bed after I get off, and that's early for many people. I realize that. I'm old. It's just, that's the way it goes. I'll probably have a bowl of soup before I go to bed. I made a pot of soup earlier, but haven't eaten any. It was a Christmas gift from my daughter, where she put these soup mixes in mason jars and put the mixes together. I mean, this isn't any packet stuff. It's quite fragrant with herbs, so I don't think hubby's gonna like it. It's tortellini. There's no meat. He's a meat eater. But I think I'm gonna really like it because I love tortellini soup. Usually I make it with turkey. It's very much I associate with the holiday turkey, whatever holiday I make it. The leftovers, I make the broth with the carcass, and then there's meat in it, and I buy the fresh tortellinis that you can get at the grocery store. These were dried, and I know you can buy them. I rarely use them. Usually I'm very accustomed to using the fresh ones. But they look like they cooked up just fine. They're all plump and soft and everything. I have to admit, I didn't taste it. That's something I should do, I know, when I'm cooking, and I'm not much of a taster. Check for salt sometimes, that kind of thing. But when I know I'm going to put certain things together, I'm going to put them together, right? And then I eat it. So, I don't know. I would not be a good real chef kind of person, but I am really good at using leftovers in the fridge. Today we had a stir fry that had leftover rice, leftover pork, new bean sprouts, and an egg. So I was cleaning out the fridge today. Just gonna spend the night. Nothing fancy. Nothing much going on in my life. And I am looking for my spinning wheel. Here we go. I'm in the process of pre-drafting this Blueface Luster. It is from a business called A Star Is Shorn. It is purples and blues and whites. And it's called, I forget what it's called, something cosmic. Star Sheep Sock Braids. And this is called Dark Secrets. I have to remember that. I need a sock pattern that matches the name, Dark Secrets. Makes me think of Dark Shadows, which every now and then I watch on my fire, just for giggles. I haven't gotten into there were so many episodes, so many years of it. I have not gotten into what I remember watching as a young person. Everything I'm watching has been new to me because it's the preliminary, the stuff that they ran, I guess, before I became aware that it was on TV. So every now and then I watch some episodes of that, enjoy that. I enjoy old movies. I only enjoy them once. My husband has a habit of watching things over and over and over. Sometimes I think partially that's his stroke affecting his... things don't stay new to him as much as they do to me. He is not a reader though, so it's, if you have a favorite book kind of thing and you're not a reader, you can have favorite TV shows, if you understand. It's kind of the same thing. Comfort. A little bit of comfort. Speaking of comfort, thank goodness the weather has turned a little warmer yesterday and probably today, and then it's going to slam us with snow. I'll tell you. I saw a very funny cartoon in the funny paper, in the Sunday funnies, called The King of Id, where there's the king and the magician, his magician, and they're standing on the balcony, the king's balcony, and the sun's shining, and there is this whoosh, and they're under 8 inches of snow, and then the sun comes out, and then there's this kaboom, and it storms, and the king looks at the wizard and says, "Are you behind this?" And the wizard says, "Nope, it's just March." So I don't know if the other parts of the country have as variable weather as we do in the Ohio Valley, but it is unbelievable. There was a day beginning, I don't know, in the last week, it dropped from 71 degrees in the morning, actually midnight, to 41 degrees during the day. Dropped 30 degrees. So, we have crazy weather here. And very rapid moving weather, and by next week, Monday or Tuesday, we're going to be back to nice weather. But I digress, because hubby and I took advantage of the sunshine, went out and sat at our table out in the sunshine in our yard and shared an hour of chit chat and a little bit of planning about our trip, and various and sundry conversation, and the warmth of the sunshine, as well as the cat entertaining us by going from one lap to the other, sitting on the table, chasing things in the yard. He was very, very entertaining. It was nice. I'm looking at this week as this first part of March as a preliminary resting period. Plus, of course, I'm doing the Sock Madness sock. Oh, I was going to show that. I have one done. But when I travel, and then I'm gone 10 days, and it'll be the end of March when we get back, it's just, I will have to go outside and work some every day if it's not raining, because there will be so much to do. There's so many flower beds, garden beds to clean up. There's leaves and old stuff to pick up, and especially any limbs that have come down before I mow. And then eventually, I'm sure, I will be mowing the first week of April or so, because the grass is already somewhat long. As long as it doesn't snow, huh? As long as it doesn't snow. Let me go back to, I can always spin. Let me go back to this camera. I'll show you my sock, because this is a good camera to show it on. Ta-da! So, this side, because we have to do 5 repeats of the chart, I have my little markers in there to show the repeats. I also went ahead, and I'm going to have to make a note of this when I entered it, because you can't really see it. It's right there. I put a lifeline in. That lifeline is actually too far. I forgot to stick it in, sooner. So I'll have to go back a little bit further. But that is actually where my toes are just peeking out of the sock. So, this much of the sock is too much. A whole repeat, basically. So I'll have to take it off. I have to do this all the time for the Sock Madness socks. And that's one of the things I was talking to hubby about, because he's been a saint letting me just focus on that. In fact, encouraging me when I am not working on it, and he's saying, How's come you're not knitting?" He knows I want to get it done, and also we don't go. I'm not going to go leave for Florida until it's done. I am aiming to get it done, the second one by Monday. What I read, everybody says the second one goes a lot faster, and I will admit that by the end of that sock on that 5th pattern repeat, I was pretty much almost doing it. It's a 26 row pattern, but I was almost doing it by memory. But now, on my second sock, I've thrown myself a little bit of a curveball. I have switched the colors, right? And the chart is written out for the switch of colors. The chart is written out whether you make the light your main color or the dark. They have a different chart for your main color. So I'm following the chart. It's okay that way. What's not okay is my brain is so hooked into light was my main color, green was the resting, what I call the resting rows, and now that's backwards. And I am on the first repeat. I did the cuff today, which is 15 rows and 5 rows of the repeat. So I have just not adjusted my brain yet, and I will. I know I will. But yeah, I have decided to make fraternal socks. First time I've ever done it. And this pattern just is really, really good for that concept. I am curious to see what a difference is swapping the colors. That's what's driving me to do it, is my curiosity to actually see the sock knit with the colors reversed. So I don't want to do 4 socks, so it's fraternal socks. Anyway, what I was saying to him while I was sitting there, I said, I don't think I'm going to do this Sock Madness anymore after this year. If I advance, I may try the next one. What happened the last time, 2 times that I qualified, I got the second sock done, but there was something wrong with it, and it didn't qualify. And the next year, I only got 1 sock done, and for the real competition, you got to have both socks done. So anyway, we'll see. But it has made me realize I am not a knitter. I can call myself a knitter. I know how to knit. I certainly have a lot of knitting intelligence. I can figure out the patterns. I have many, many knitting tools at my disposal that I have. Hi, Kay. I'm talking about the Sock Madness sock. And, I've come to the realization that most people who are really, truly knitters sit down and knit every night. I have been knitting all day for days. And I don't like doing that. I like doing a lot of other stuff too. I take breaks. It's not that. It's just that I don't want to focus on knitting day after day after day. So I may not do Sock Madness again. I have so many sock patterns now. I am not going to have a problem knitting a sock if I want to knit a sock. So we'll continue on. And what's really worrying me about that, I have something stuck here. What's really worrying me about that is that I won't knit socks in. And I really like socks. Hand knit socks. And I have a lot of pretty sock yarn. I need to knit socks. I'm afraid if I don't do the challenge and set myself a deadline, I'll never knit socks. So I don't know why. If I like them so much, I don't know. They're nice. They're way better than big shawls and blankets and sweaters and all that. You're on the leg of the first sock. The leg or the foot? Dear. Are you really entered, or are you just doing it? Oh, you can't get the pattern if you weren't entered. Now that I think about it. Anyway, I am just frustrated with how slow my knitting is. I am knitting on size 3 needles in order to get it to go over my my heel, in order to get the sock on because of the color work. And I would think that it would go so much faster. It's not like I'm on size 0. I remembered your bed. You're on the leg. Okay. Well, you are perfectly aware then. I'm happy with it. I like the sock. Did you see it? I'll show it again. I have one done, and I've started the other one, so this is the one that's done. I think the heel is sloppy, but it fits all right. It's all right. But also, we're required to do the 5 repeats, and my toes just peek out right there. So I put a lifeline in. I'm gonna have to take it back that much. That part irritates me too. If I have to knit it, fine. But if I have to unknit, take it out, what I knit, that's not fine. And that, I was like, the 2 years I've been in it, I was like, okay. They're just, they're working all this out, and surely they're not going to do this every year. Well, I was wrong. They're going to do it every year. Thank you. I think it's pretty. I am making a fraternal for the second one. So it really is a dark pine green, forest green, and then a variegated green. The pine green is as hard to knit as black. So I have really good strong light behind me, but sometimes I just don't try at night. I do most of the knitting during the day. Oh, that's good. I don't have anybody to give. My daughter wears socks bigger than me. I probably could pass them on to her. I didn't used to be able to because she was allergic to wool, but that allergy went away. She now wears and knits with wool yarn herself. So I could probably give it to her. Do you know what? I don't think I have any oil. I can't believe I moved the oil out of here. Why would I do that? My Roberta's sounding like it could use some oil. Huh, I don't see it anywhere. I didn't swatch my yarn either. But I did, on that sock I just showed you, I did the cuff and the first repeat of the pattern, and I could hardly get it over. And I was on 2s, and I could hardly get it over my heel, so I switched to 3s after that point. And I tried it on this morning or yesterday before I finished it up. It was on the last repeat of the chart, and it's still a little snug going over my heel, but once I get it on and situated, it's pretty good. It's fine. All right. Hate to do this. Okay, I'll be right back. I am going to put this on. I'll be right back. And I am going to go get some oil. I should not run this when it's squeaking like that. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. You're fiddling with the chart. I have it on Knit Companion. Do you have it on Knit Companion? Alright. Let's oil this a little bit. About time for me to give it a good cleaning too. Oh, you forgot to move up the highlight? Yeah. I know I had so many row counting things on the side there. You know, as I was working on that first sock. Much better. A little dab will do you. Boy, I tell you, oil makes a big difference. I don't really have the camera catching the bobbin very good there. Let me do that. There we go. So while I'm knitting on that sock, I can't watch TV. I can't do anything. This is such a delight to spin. Love spinning processed fiber. Getting spoiled. I haven't done any fiber processing this year yet. Really, I haven't done anything this year yet. I gotta turn the speed down a little bit. It's getting over twisted there. One of the things I did when I was on the picking the yarn for the sock is I picked one hank that was 400 yards and one hank that was 600. And I would never use 600 for a pair of socks in entirety, let alone when I'm using it as a second color. So I am going to have a lot of that variegate. It's the variegated green left over. I'll be able to use it in another sock. I hope I have enough of the green. I have something very, very similar. It's by a different dyer, but if push come to shove, I'll use it for the green if I would run out. Be close enough. You like watching stuff on the phone or computer, but my laptop doesn't want to stream things well anymore. I have Knit Companion on my iPad. I have an iPad. And I can do Twitch. It's kind of fiddly trying to get a separate box. Which, for two things you have to look at, it's kind of fiddly. You can make a box that sits on top of the other. But what works the best is to listen to something. And then I just have Knit Companion up and the audio plays in the background. Or TV on. Well, I mean, a lot of times I don't do anything because hubby has a TV on. He's watching something. could have Nick Companion on one and Twitch on the other. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a electronic junkie. I have a Fire too. Especially, the iPad was expensive, but the Fire was not. And but I tend to watch Amazon Prime on the Fire. Which reminds me, I need to do that because I want to watch the new season of Miss Maisel. I forgot that was on. That's a messy. Wow. All sorts of. This is so soft. Oh, it is just glorious. Oh, that reminds me. That skein I made, I wanted to put down that it was merino. In my notes. I do too. I love these colors. It's just well, I said I love doing a commercial. It's such a wonderful. It's just so relaxing to spin this, but also not having to worry about how I want the colors to fall. Just let them happen. It's very relaxing that way too, for that reason. I get all involved in the color arrangement sometimes when I'm spinning. This didn't start well. There are on that sock chart, there are two rows. Row 8 and row 20. That's all I'm saying. Beware. Really watch the symbols. Because she's got you doing stuff you don't do the rest of the chart. You're knitting in the back of a previously purled stitch. You know, like you knit through the back loop. I struggled with those. I undid it many times because I'd come up to a purl stitch and I would be at knit through the back loop on the chart, and I was like, oh, shoot, I made a mistake. I'm just saying. It drove me crazy. And I'd forget. And I'd struggle, and I'd look up, and oh, I'm on row 8. Of course I'm having trouble. Yes, she says. You've been there, done that, huh? Found it. Yeah. And I quit reading the Ravelry, the question. I was reading it every night for the first 3 days. And there's so much. I haven't done the regular chat one at all. But I hadn't gotten to those rows when I was reading it, and everybody was saying, this is this, and there's a purl, and blah, 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 and they kept saying, trust the pattern. I was like, it should be really simple if you're just following the pattern. Then I ran into what they were talking about. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I would have, be knitting along or following along really fine. And I'm supposed to, have a purl stitch, and I'd look, and it's a knit stitch, and I thought, oh shoot, and I go back and I look, and then it always would dawn on me to go look or count my stitches, and I was, sure enough, I'd look on the back about 3 rows down, there's this stitch sitting there waving at me like, I'm down here. What are you down there for? When did that happen? You working on two circs or one circ magic loop? I am working on double points for the whole second sock. Did a lot of variations on the first sock. You know, from real short double points that I couldn't see the dark yarn on to circulars, and then one of the circulars was a wire and the wire broke, so I had to get a different circular. Plus I changed size. I had to find different sizes of circular. I wanted the 3. And I ended up, after the heel turn, with the instep on one long double pointed and the back, you know, where you do the sole on the other double pointed. I just pretty much ended up with 2 double pointed needles. It's a little hard to, I have to tug and make sure I don't get a ladder on each side. But I don't see, of course I don't have it on my foot, but I don't see any laddering on the sock blocker. The after you get past the heel turn, it does go quicker because you're only doing the chart on the instep, and the sole is really easy. It's a lot of knitting. 1 row of knit 1, slip 1, and then the other 3 rows are knit. So it's quick. You've been magic looping? Okay. Yeah, I'm not real fond of magic loop. I can't prevent laddering with magic loop. Like I can with double pointeds and even 2 circs. But I don't like real long circular needle where there's a long cord in between, you know, so they dangle a lot. I don't like that. I like the shorter ones. And I don't have that many in my needle stash. Oh, my thing's falling off here. I got sucked into looking at a local auction listing today. I had looked at the Sunday paper, and in the real estate they list the auctions, and so I wanted to look up because they said, you know, entire listing is online. Well, it turns out they do the auction online now. You don't even go for estate auctions to the estate. I guess not in all cases, but in this case, and they must have taken 10,000 pictures of all this stuff because they would take multiple pictures of the lot. It's the first I've experienced how auctions have changed. I love estate auctions. I mean, over the years, I've had so much fun. I've gotten some cool stuff, and I like the going and poking at box lots and just, you know, getting them for $1. But the way they do it, they will ship it to you, but it's a local, to me, auction house, so they have pickup dates. You bid online. They have a specific closing date, so whoever has a winning bid at that closing date and time gets you have to put a credit card on to register, so you're gonna, they're gonna charge your credit card. So hubby and I looked at that for quite a bit. It had collectibles that we like glassware. It had tools. It had um, not too much. It had tons of books. I'm not going to buy a book that way, but they took the shelf. Basically, the house had bookshelves of books, and they would take the shelf and take a picture of it, and it's a lot of books. These are the books that you get for the auction price, whatever your winning bid is. I was like, oh man, that's how they're going to sell our stuff. Because I have so many books. But it was interesting to see how auctions have changed. You're halfway through the second repeat. Go, girl, you're going to be there. You'll get it. It's not going to take you that long. They had one. There's a couple things I think, just for the heck of it, I'm going to bid on. I don't expect to get it. They had one knitting lot, and it was one of these really old-fashioned fabric, what they call knitting bags. It handles on the top. You actually could close it and pick it up and carry it that way, but you open it up and it stands up. I have one right now. I have one, but it had that, and I couldn't tell what else it had. It just said knitting lot, right? And it didn't look like there was piles of yarn. It said needles, but I didn't see many needles. So, I was like, okay. But the one I was really interested in was a great big lot of old tablecloths. Oh, I love old tablecloths, and I'm not looking for lace, right? I know they have the problem. They can be stained. They can have holes. They can be faded from washing. I know that, but I still like the look of a lot of the old tablecloth fabric, and they're cool to make aprons out of. They're just, you could of course use it in quilts if it's cotton. Anyway, I may bid on that. I don't know. The biggest problem is that we may be leaving for Florida, and I wouldn't be able to go pick it up. So I have to be careful about that. Not run into the not being here for the pickup date. So yeah, if you like auction kind of stuff, check out your local auction houses and see if they're doing it that way, because I'm kind of like, this is nice in a way. They don't explain too much. They don't go into a lot of description. But if you think about it, when you're actually at an auction, they don't do that either there, because the auctioneer he's got his patter going, and he's like, oh, look at this, oh, look at this, oh, look, holding stuff up and everything, right? Not saying what it is, just showing it off, right? Probably probably because they don't want to get called on calling something the wrong thing. I drank that water and now I'm choking. There was one consignment store in the town up the road, the big town. You know, where you used to take your stuff in and they'd put a price on it and get a certain amount. It was a consignment store for home goods, as it wasn't just clothing. They had some clothing, but it was mostly you could get good pieces of furniture, nice collectible stuff, you know. And it was they were picky. I mean, it was nice. Um, it wasn't like a Goodwill store. It was pretty nice and clean and well displayed. Um, they went to even pre-COVID having online consignments. It wasn't an auction. It was they set the price and you had to pay shipping. But I think that some of that was because they ran out of space. You know, they were getting more things than they could actually display. We got our dining room table and chairs at that store, and it's really nice. It's a really nice dining room table and chairs. This is spinning up so fast. I won't ply it tonight, even though one bobbin's been sitting. I want to wait. Ply it on Sunday. If I get to past the heel by Sunday, I'll probably knit on the stream on Sunday. That was a fat section of the top. It's thick. Alright. It's going to be the last of this beautiful rooming. Or top. Big pile here, though. I didn't take a stretch break. I need to take a stretch break. I'm starting to feel my shoulders. Finish this one up. Oh man, that feels good. It's gonna be a shorter stream tonight. After I finish these, I am not gonna start anything new. I will go knit and see if I can get one repeat of the chart done before I go to bed. I should be able to. I'm only on row 7, I think, or something like that. But should be able to get one repeat done. It's been nice. We haven't been doing much. We haven't been running errands and stuff very much. We are going into town tomorrow for a little bit. Nothing on Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday I gotta take my car to the dealer for an oil change, which usually doesn't take too long. Alright, this is weird. I usually knit at the dealer, but just routine oil change doesn't take very long. So it's nice. It's been nice being home. Hello, welcome Emperor. Doing good tonight. How are you? It's night for me. Don't know what it is for you. Not late. About 8:30 in the evening. Spinning some really pretty purple fiber. You just woke up. It's 6:55 a.m. My goodness. Good morning. Go get some coffee. I love mornings because I love coffee. Thank you. I know. It's very satisfying to sit and do this too. I don't talk much. I kind of zone out. I've been there for a while. Thank you. I know. I actually have been almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in July. Got a couple months yet that I've been streaming. I'm a senior in many ways. Yes. Oh. But no, I don't consider that so. I see streamers that have been on for quite a while. Um, and there are streamers who are much more dedicated. I mean, streaming every day, which is not something I do. But I like what I do. I like my schedule. How is everything in? Are you in Germany? Are you on the base? If I remember right. Yeah, makes me younger. You know how Twitch and streaming works, and that actually makes you younger than most youngsters. Well, I know what you're saying. My husband hasn't a clue what it's all about. And I'm sure there are many people who don't. I usually don't talk about it, when I'm talking to people, except my really close friends, but in general. Because it's too complicated to explain what I'm doing. You are from India. Okay, I apologize. I had you mixed up with somebody that I've conversed with from Germany. I really enjoy the fact that this is worldwide. I love it. Now, it enforces people to be able to speak English to communicate with me or translate, but, you know, and of course, that is, to me, somewhat limiting for being worldwide, but it's still pretty neat. I do talk to a lot of people, and I try to remember names, but even in, a non-streaming life, I don't remember names a lot of times. And unfortunately, for this format, there's not a face, right? I tend to focus on faces when I'm talking to people and will remember their face before their name. here where I live in the U.S., we are going to change time. Sounds funny, but we go to what's called daylight savings. And in the spring, the clocks are set ahead 1 hour. In the fall, they're set back 1 hour. They call it daylight savings because it makes the light, last longer by adjusting the clocks that way. A lot of people hate it. I mean, it's been around for all my life, and it has been around for a long, long time. But a lot of people hate it. They say the spring one is the hardest because you lose an hour's sleep, and makes a shorter day. In the fall, when you set your clock back, you get an extra hour during the day. But it helps a little bit with doing your activities in the daylight as opposed to it being real dark when you get up to go to work and stuff like that. But that's going to happen Saturday night. It's official at 2 a.m. our time, but between Saturday and Sunday, that's when it's going to happen. So I'm going to stream on Sunday, and if I remember to change my clock, doesn't really matter when I come on, but I will be streaming on Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock my time. And I'm talking about this because I am just about ready to close this stream up for the night. I have finished the fiber that I wanted to spin. Well, that'll be good. I often have a few more people at that time as viewers just because it's a good free time for people. But I appreciate you coming by tonight. I really do. I love learning that you're from India. That's awesome. So this is the end of this fiber. I have this bobbin and this bobbin that I will put together on Sunday as a 2-ply and make the yarn. Did I say empire? It's emperor. I said emperor, didn't I? I just reread it. Don't remember what I said. Well, thank you. Oh, okay. I thought I did, but anyway. Alrighty, I am going to shut the music off and go take a look at Twitch. We may raid somebody. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on who's doing what. Oh, not too many people on tonight. Okay. a lot of people on. Don't know what I wanted. What I want to go to here. Oh, she's got a hamster she's sewing. Or go to Excalia and visit her. Thank you. Katie, I hope you get your sock all straightened out, and I will see you on Sunday afternoon.
This is not healthy.
Let's see if I can do this right here. If I spell her name right.
Does not tell me what one to use. One's big.
All right, we're going to take off. You all take care. I will see you in a couple days. Have a good weekend. Bye.